The story begins with the main character, Brooks Rattigan, reflecting on his life and ambitions. He dreams of becoming someone influential one day, inspired heavily by his father, who used to be a well-known author. Brooks is determined to leave his mark on the world and create a future that looks nothing like his present. His closest friend, Murph, always has his back. Murph spends most of his time developing apps, while Brooks gives him ideas and helps out. The two also work part-time together at a Subway shop. Hoping to get into a top-tier university, Brooks submits his college essay to the school counselor, expecting praise. Instead, he's told that getting into Yale requires deeper self-reflection and a much stronger essay. Disappointed, but accepting, Brooks leaves school thinking about how different his life would be if he were as wealthy as some of his classmates. At home, his dad advises him to consider a nearby college instead of Yale, reminding him how expensive it is. Brooks hates the idea. Later at work, he meets Murph again and asks for help brainstorming essay ideas. Murph suggests he write about the painful memory of his mom abandoning him as a kid. Brooks quickly shuts down the idea, not wanting to revisit that part of his life. Their conversation is interrupted when a group of students walk into the store. One of them, Rice, complains about being forced to escort his cousin to a school dance, saying he'd rather spend the night with his girlfriend. He even mentions that his uncle is paying him to take her. Hearing this, Brooks jumps at the opportunity he offers to take the girl instead, but only if he can borrow Rice's car and get paid. Rice surprisingly agrees, handing over the keys. Driving the expensive car fills Brooks with excitement. He tells Murph he's finally starting to save up money the fast way. Murph warns him the whole plan feels off, but Brooks brushes it aside. In his mind, he's simply helping out a girl for one night. When Brooks arrives at the girl's home, he's greeted by an elegant, wealthy-looking man and invited inside. The scene that follows catches him completely off guard. The girl is upstairs throwing a tantrum while her stressed mother complains that she refuses to wear heels and wants to wear boots instead. Eventually, the girl Celia comes downstairs in combat boots, instantly mocking Brooks when he introduces himself. As they head out, Celia proves to be sharp-tongued and bold. On the drive, she orders Brooks to drop her off at a bookstore, cafe, and come back for her later. Brooks refuses and insists she'll attend her school dance, dragging her in despite her reluctance. Once inside, he gets her on the dance floor, and after some hesitation, Celia starts to loosen up. Things go smoothly until a slow song begins. Celia grows uncomfortable, but Brooks pulls her close only to get distracted by a stunning girl across the room. His clumsiness accidentally hurts Celia, so he quickly stops and gets her an ice pack. The beautiful girl he noticed earlier approaches them. Her name is Shelby, and she checks on Celia before inviting both of them to a party. Brooks is eager to go, but Celia instantly shoots the idea down. Despite being drawn to Shelby, Brooks drops the subject and later drives Celia home. On the way, Celia jokingly says he should start a business escorting rich girls for events. Brooks, however, takes the idea seriously. As she walks away, he realizes Celia faked her injury just to get home faster. He mentions wanting to go to Shelby's party, but Celia dismisses him, saying he'd never fit in with those rich, stuck-up kids. She storms inside her house. Her dad pays Brooks generously for taking Celia out. He even adds a bonus for managing her difficult personality. When Rice comes to collect his car, Brooks asks how he could even afford such a luxury vehicle. Rice simply replies that he hustled for it, inspiring Brooks to adopt the same mindset. The next day, Brooks tries to convince Murph to help him create an app for this escort four-night idea. Murph resists at first, but after hearing the plan, he finally gives in. Murph's crush walks in during their conversation, and Murph pretends not to care, though it's obvious he does. That night, Brooks impatiently watches as Murph codes. They eventually build an app that lets clients pick the type of date they want. Most like ordering food for delivery, except it's a person showing up as whatever the client needs. Murph jokes that Brooks is basically becoming a hired date, but Brooks insists it's strictly non-romantic, just playing a role and keeping people company. Murph even designs a feature that tracks how much money Brooks earns toward his dream of attending Yale. The next morning, Brooks' dad tells him he's been offered a full-ride scholarship to UConn, a local public university, but Brooks still dreams of something bigger. Brooks has no interest in attending UConn and insists he only wants Yale. His father is disappointed, and the two have a minor argument over his stubbornness. Meanwhile, Brooks becomes increasingly fascinated with Shelby, secretly following her and developing stronger feelings. Just as he sits down to start his college essay, a request comes through on his app, and he finds himself attending an art exhibition. His genuine interest in the artwork impresses the girl he's accompanying. The app quickly takes off, and Brooks is inundated with requests from girls wanting his company. He begins juggling tennis practices, offering dating advice, attending parties, dance rehearsals, anything that makes him stand out. His meticulous research and commitment to playing the perfect chaperone pay off, and he starts earning substantial money, confident that it will help him get into Yale. One morning, Celia calls, apologizing for her earlier behavior. She wants Brooks's help again, this time to make her crush Franklin jealous. She also arranges for him to accompany her to Shelby's house party. Brooks eagerly agrees. At the party, Brooks is about to reveal his real background, but Celia lies, telling Shelby that he comes from a wealthy family. Shelby is impressed, and Brooks goes along with the story. During the party, they notice Celia's father flirting with some guests, prompting Shelby to confront him. Brooks questions Celia about the lie, and she tells him it's necessary to impress Shelby. They then see Franklin, and Brooks encourages Celia to approach him, helping her start a conversation. Satisfied, Brooks steps aside while Celia talks to Franklin. Later, he engages with Shelby, who is convinced of his wealth, leaving him thrilled. Celia excitedly tells Brooks that she and Franklin are going on a date. They plan a staged public breakup at another party, so Celia can date Franklin while Brooks gains Shelby's sympathy. While Brooks focuses on Yale and his growing infatuation with Shelby, Celia observes that he is chasing external validation instead of embracing who he really is. She then reveals that her father knows the Yale president and can vouch for Brooks, for which he is immensely grateful. At work the next day, Murph seems upset, and Brooks learns that their friendship has grown distant. Determined to repair it, Brooks promises to spend more time with Murph. Later, Brooks visits a wealthy girl's house, pretending to be a rich, arrogant guy. During this, Celia calls to inform him that she has arranged a meeting with the Yale admissions dean. Nervous but excited, Brooks meets the dean, impressing him with carefully researched details, including a fabricated hobby of beekeeping. However, Celia overhears and is furious about his dishonesty. She confronts him, pointing out his deception, and Brooks lashes back, accusing her of pretending for Franklin. They argue, but eventually, Celia admits she was hiding her true self out of fear. Brooks reassures her that confidence is what matters most. The three friends, Brooks, Celia, and Murph, have dinner together, during which Murph reveals that Brooks's mother has moved on and built a happy life without him, leaving Brooks silently hurt. Later, Celia prepares to go on her date with Franklin, but Brooks receives another request from the app and reluctantly prioritizes it over spending time with Murph. Murph feels hurt, but he understands Brooks's determination to get into Yale. Brooks continues to juggle fake dates, while Celia starts to develop genuine feelings for him. On the day of a key party, Celia dresses up to impress Brooks, but he is preoccupied with planning their staged breakup. When he starts making insensitive remarks, Celia slaps him in anger. She storms off, and Shelby comforts Brooks, eventually leading to a kiss and an invitation to her formal dance. Brooks eagerly agrees. When he returns to work, Brooks is surprised to find Murph absent. Murph had switched shifts, upset with Brooks's selfishness, but Brooks vows to make amends. During a walk with an elderly woman, he gains perspective about love, realizing that the person you're most comfortable with is the one meant for you. On the night of the formal, Brooks goes with Shelby to a luxurious restaurant and realizes how incompatible they truly are. At the dance, Celia arrives alone, and although Shelby insults her, Brooks is captivated. When a girl asks for advice about his app, Shelby confronts him. Brooks confesses his financial struggles and that the app was his way to fund Yale. Shelby walks away disappointed, but Brooks takes it in stride, realizing the mistakes he has made. Brooks reconnects with Celia. They discuss past crushes and misunderstandings, and Celia admits she has genuine feelings for him. Brooks returns home, feeling disappointed but enlightened. After confiding in his father, he finally understands what he truly wants. He declines app requests and focuses on being authentic. The next morning, Brooks reconciles with Murph, who finally musters the courage to ask his crush out. Brooks begins his college essay with renewed clarity. He meets Celia at a cafe, explaining he chose UConn instead of Yale to stay true to himself. He gives her a heartfelt letter, confessing his feelings and asking her out, then leaves her to reflect. Soon after, Celia visits Brooks, apologizes for slapping him, and asks him to go to another formal dance together. They drive to work and find Murph with his crush. All four friends enjoy the moment, with Brooks and Celia finally together. They kiss and embrace a new chapter in their lives, happy and honest with each other.